Wow, this looks extremely close to Pennsylvania. I don't know if you guys can see my hair. I tried to do my hair today. It was very challenging. A little bow in the back. Yeah. Hi guys, this is me, Miss MatchaBlossom. If you guys are very new to my channel, hello. My name is Miss MatchaBlossom. You can call me Matcha. And I talk about Hanfu content or just talking about Hanfu in itself, whether it has to do with folklore, history, or just learning more about the historical garment, historical costuming. If you would like to join our Blossom family, hit the like button if you're interested in this video, and also subscribe to be part of it. We blossom on and prosper. But first things first, I'm gonna address a certain elephant in the room, and I feel like this is very much needed to say because some people in this world do not know how to respect other people if they're very insecure in themselves. The only reason why I'm making this video is not to backstab or hate or be like, oh, this is do. I'm literally gonna just give you advice on how to just be your best self with Hanfu. So if you're interested in that, hit the like button and just keep watching. I will put some little notifications for timestamps down below if you want to just get to certain parts that you need help with. My nose is like allergy. Okay, anyways. I don't have anything scripted. I've made this video 2 to 3, if not 4 times, to a point where I even almost tried to call out someone who was being very disrespectful to the Hanfu community for people who are non-Asians, telling them when and when not to wear it and how to wear it, and very dictatorship-wise, point where it was downright generalizing and dictating to where you're kind of just putting people in a box and labeling them for all that they can be, and they will never be enough. Reminds me of Crazy Rich Asians where that sign where she's like, you will never be enough. And I'm like, damn. And to bring up that scene, this kind of has to do with the Hanfu community and why I think this, I'm just giving my own opinion for this advice. You can take it or leave it, doesn't matter. I've noticed a lot of people in my comments or just even on Instagram say that they're interested in it, but they're very nervous, which is very valid. Whenever you start something new, you're going to be nervous, and that is quite okay, because I was too. There was a YouTuber who made a very backhanded video. Like I mentioned, she generalized a group of non-Asians, telling them when and when not to wear it, and how she thought it was okay for this, and she had a rant video about it. And as someone who was subscribed to her, I was very disappointed in her actions. There is a way of proceeding how you feel without attacking other people with your emotions. And I know, because I've done that many times. I had to really sit back and think about it and say, how can I deal with this, right? If you're angry about something, you always want to know how to solve it in your own way, because at the end of the day, you can only control yourself and your own controlled variables and actions, right? With each action is an equal and opposite reaction, but that depends on how you show it to the world, essentially, correct? But essentially, it's how you treat people and how you show that respect to others. And if you feel like some injustice is happening, you should probably take a stand and do something instead of attacking a person. It doesn't really solve anything, and neither does verbal abuse. And I feel like that is something that people need to take an understanding to, because verbal abuse is still abuse. And generalizing and dictating when someone's going to do something is no different than a bully. Always an easier way to go about a solution. You just have to think it through. And it won't always be easy, but it is possible. I will never call someone out indirectly as if they are lesser than me, because no one is really lesser than anyone else. We're all still learning in the ways of life. And I feel that one thing you can take away from that is, if you do feel like someone does that to you, you have the right to walk away and not indulge in that behavior. That sounds pretty standard and typical, but seriously, you do not have to listen to that. You can choose to be your own better person, because whether they understand you liking Hanfu or not, or even wearing it, that's their answer to their own insecurities and experience to what they limit themselves to, not yours. Or say, you know, I appreciate your comment, or like if they're trying to say it's something else, just say, I appreciate your comment, but that's not what this is. This is Hanfu. And, you know, just walk away or just don't say anything at all. Or if anything, if they do berate you, you can either block them, because there's no reason to really go into it and fight back unless someone is actually hurting someone else in a negative way, where it's bullying, like to an extreme where it's past its way of reason of just solutionizing, like a way of talking. Then you can step your foot in and say, hey, I don't appreciate you bullying this person. You could talk to them more about their knowledge about Hanfu or the way they dress without generalizing them and labeling them as no good or never good enough. That speaks volumes. Whether you're doing this in Hanfu or not, you should always try to find another solution around things. Attacking a group of people because of your own opinions and twisted facts that aren't facts, because opinions will never be facts, doesn't make your valid argument any more valid anymore. It's just an opinion. If you do notice that in the community of Hanfu or any community that you're in, speak up. Let them know, hey, this is not okay. I don't appreciate you talking to this person this way. And if you do notice someone into Hanfu that's very new, you can always talk to them, and if you notice that they could improve here or there, mention a nice comment to them or just a suggestion politely. So it goes with the Hanfu sub-style, but it also helps them uplift them and know that there's people out there in the community that aren't gatekeepers, and they're not going to make them feel less than whether they're non-Asian or not. Let me quote this, because someone actually said this in their video, and it's so different from certain comments I've received, and this is why I feel like this comment is wrong. Or the person that made this said, if I don't immediately see someone in their work, if I don't see them both historical or in modern context do this in their work, which is supporting modern Asian people and taking concrete action to support them, then it doesn't feel good. It feels like appropriation. Quote for quote, I actually wrote this down from their video. Now, appropriation is the idea, I'll put the definition right here, is where you're stealing from someone or their ideas or an object of theirs without their consent and continuously berating them or oppressing them. Now, that word can be taken out of context because it makes you sound smarter, but if you notice someone doing that, please let them know, hey, this is not okay for you to call someone out like this. I appreciate it if you could stop. And of course, that's if they're bullying someone. Stand up for it. It's not only the situation worse, but you think you're being a better person by like berating them and telling them, yeah, I know who's boss, but you're really just making it worse for yourself. Not just with other people respecting you, but it shows that you don't even respect yourself and your own intellect. You could say whatever they want and feel whatever they want, but if you can never admit to your own wrongs, how are you going to be a better person and, I don't know, do better or be enough? And as that person said, this is what I found very disrespectful. It gets to the pit of her stomach when, even though people who are non-Asian have good intentions, whether they're studying patterns, really understanding its history, wearing it regardless, trying their best, they're not doing enough. They don't go far enough, is what she stated in context. Because they need to go into the fabrics, historical context, what's their oppression, which is understandable. You should always do that in Hanfu. Go check out what is Hanfu, my video. Always do that whenever you're going into something new in life, whether it's job, school, Hanfu, any kind of hobby or entertainment, if not interest that you're interested in. You should always research. And you will make mistakes along the way, but don't hold them accountable, because their own consequences are going to hold them accountable. And I know that's really hard for people to understand, like, what are you telling me? I can't stand up for myself? No, you can. But it's how you say the words that come out of your mouth that can never come back out. Remember, with every action is an equal and opposite reaction. And when you say something to someone, think about it. How can you react to it if you were in their place? If someone was wise to you and spoke to you in a polite way and ignored your angry emotion and said, have a great day, like genuinely, wouldn't that change your mind? I did have anger and I did have mixed emotions. I was furious, but what is that really gonna solve? To her, that's what she wants, and anybody else wants. I know I'll never be good enough for some people, even some Asians or non-Asians in Hanfu. I'm not equating to their expectations. I'm learning how to succeed in my own for intelligence and knowledge into Hanfu or in life. Because unfortunately, we're all mortals on this world. Whether we're YouTubers, Twitchers, streamers, like gamers. And as soon as you let go of the fact that you need to hold people constantly accountable if they're not doing something traumatic, for instance, like murder or treason or literally belittling or bullying people, stealing their money. But if they're not doing that, you should probably let go of that whole dynamic, because it will tear you up inside. The last piece of advice I definitely want to say is never stop learning. Never give up on yourself. You'll never be perfect, but you'll be good enough and perfect enough in your own way. As long as you never give up on your own hope and dreams and just learning. To be honest, when you're on this earth, it doesn't matter if you're an elderly, a child, a newborn, a teenager, or even an adult. It doesn't matter what status you're at. You will never stop learning until the day you, quote unquote, graduate or pass on from this earth or this life. People can learn how to live in peace and stand up for what's right peacefully, like Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. Then why can't everyday people, which is all of us? And you should definitely always stand up for what's right, whether it's the Black Lives Matters movement, human trafficking, or Stop Asian Hate, all of those. You should always stand up for what's right, but think about the peaceful way. Not just because you get good karma, but because what's the point in violence when everyone's gonna get hurt? If there's a way to get away from the violence and the negative emotions, wouldn't you bet on that thing? If you do bet on the negative, that's your own problem. I don't know, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not the best person to speak on anything sometimes, but I am human, and I can at least only share my experiences and just from what I've learned in this life. I know as a person who's into Hanfu, I will make mistakes, and I'm not gonna always be perfect. Just know I'm just an everyday person working a full-time job that doesn't get any money from YouTube. I don't, at all. I do this because I really do love it. And it is hard for me to buy Hanfu on my own budget because I'm barely getting by with the job I have. And that's also the reason why I went on my trip to another state recently to see if I could have a better living condition. My hobbies, my dreams, and just my way of life. And I don't think that's any different from anyone else who wants better for themselves. So, if you can't take anything, take this. Never stop learning to be a better person for yourself. There's a very famous line that I've always lived by, like literally, because I remember this from second grade. Someone gave me a plaque of Nelson Mandela's thing, and I've always lived by it because it's always helped me feel better about, you know, never being enough for society or feel like I'm not inspiring enough to help people, or I'm trying to think of the right quote, but it's basically saying when you allow yourself to shine bright and live in your own light, you allow others to inspire and brighten their own lights, basically. I'll just put it down here, if not on the screen. Because the whole speech is just really beautiful, and I've always remembered it and I always loved it. I'm not perfect, but I will do my best to be better. Every day. And there are days that it's going to be harder than others to wear Hanfu or to do anything, but it doesn't mean I've given up completely. Hard times in the video game, but it doesn't mean you have to give up your whole chances from your checkpoints. Start over again. Learn the lesson. How can I do this better now? How can I beat the boss on this side instead of that side? Same thing with life. How can I do better with learning more about Hanfu here than I can over here? I hope this touched someone's heart, and I really hope it helped you. If the girl watches my video and she's still angry at me, I really hope everything's gonna be okay for you. I really hope so. I'm sorry you feel the way that you feel, and I'm sorry the world is in a terrible place that it is. I really am. I'm sorry you're really upset about life and the way that people are treating not just the Asian community, but the community that doesn't preference to a certain privileged race. And I'm really sorry for that. But I also hope you get the help that you need, and I hope you become a better person from everything that you've went through. Please stop generalizing people and learn how to focus on yourself. I really hope you can focus on yourself to be a better light for other people in your life instead of throwing the worries and rants on the internet, where your light can be shined in a better way. It's just very disappointing to hear that. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really do love you guys, and every comment really touches my heart. So I'm like kind of heavy-hearted, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dang, man, my heart just went, whew. But I will be making more Hanfu. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now for some more videos. I have people tell me like wearing other dynasties might help. I'm interested in making some more, but I also want to make some from the book that I recently have a video on, which is up here. But thank you for just being in my life and being the light of my life, guys. I love you with all my heart. I will see you guys later. Don't forget to spread peace, love, and happiness, and it's only up to you to make every day beautiful. I'll see you ladies and gents later. Bye!